Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the highly sought after weekly recruit show. I'm your host, Noah, followed by Clancy, Enders, and our new host, Milky.
Yeah.
Woo! We back, baby. We so back.
We're
We're so
so
back.
back as I'm scouting as you guys are recording. Have fun with that.
Motherfucker. Pay attention.
No,
We're not going back to you playing Minecraft in the middle of recording.
I can do what I
Well-
want.
Alright. Well-
welcome. We're back, boys. Back after a long little off season there. But combines are starting among us. I think we're 2 nights in already, right?
It's us.
Among Us.
You also forgot we have a guest here.
We do as well. I can't forget our surprise guest star, Colty.
I'm not signing with you anymore.
Listen,
What
too
up?
many things are going in my head.
I know. I forgive you.
I don't.
Well, Colty, is there anything that you want to say about yourself? This is your first time on the show, yeah?
No, it's not.
No, he's been on
Oh,
before.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say it.
Yeah,
He's
no,
been
I
no,
thought it
he's
was
been
once
on
before,
season.
right?
He was
he's
on in the
been-
hotel era of the weekly recruit.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Yep.
The errors are back. Forgetting who our guests were.
God.
Well,
I don't even
I
think
guess
we
we'll-
all know. I don't think we have a list.
No. Well, I guess we can start with, how's everyone's off season been,
I've been
Busy.
doing iRacing, pretty much. I drive
Yeah,
in
So you're
circles.
putting in
Yeah.
the hours. Good job.
Yeah, I spent a lot of it in and out of hotels and rehabbing my wrist.
Yes, it is official. Ender's wrist is back and better than ever.
Brokey, I know you're getting that Jedi warmed up. Don't you fucking dare.
We're gonna start the season off like this, really?
What?
Getting the Jedi warmed up,
Let's
don't you know?
keep the Jedi talk to a minimum here, bud.
Let's keep the Jedi talk to last season. The Jedi's going in the weekly recruit meme Hall of Fame along with Cal winning only one game.
But yeah, Enders, how does it feel to be back, man? How does it feel?
Oh god, I've missed this game. It hates me, but I love it. It's a cruel mistress.
Finally, we can see the Yap King himself take the floor and shoot some people,
Yeah, and get killed a lot too.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
He's trying.
Yeah, probably.
Speaking of that, Enders, I've seen you op quite a lot in these first
Mhm.
couple combine games here. Is that what you're planning on doing this season?
It is the plan unless we find somebody that wows us enough to where until that we can get, obviously, because I don't think over on ATL until the marble race or whatever it is that they're using to decide the draft lottery happens. I don't think we're going on in the assumption that we'll have a super high draft pick, but we're definitely under the assumption of the first couple of draft picks we probably won't have a chance at. But if there's somebody we can get in like the second round that wows us with the op, I'm willing to go back to being an entry or support.
Cool.
I
And that
just
is
want
with
to.
you.
I just want to
was
get
gonna
the
say-
game time in on it.
Yeah, that's huge.
Absolutely. I was gonna say, so with that being said, you basically said it there yourself. So we can look to see you staying on that ATL roster going into this next season, yeah?
Hopefully. I've heard some rumors about somebody saying something about me being cut, but I don't think that's happening. Rumors
That's good,
everywhere.
that's
You know how the off season is. You know how the
Rumors
off season
are
and
amiss.
combine season go. The rumors go off.
Absolutely.
Obviously, two AP guys here. One of them officially a free agent. The other one's still technically on the roster, but I think Milky, are you safe to say what your status is with AP?
Yeah, it's safe to say that I won't be with AP. I've been in lots of talks with Chip. Chip, the new AGM. Triple's
Different than
now,
Chip Bap.
or sorry, Chip's the new GM. He was the AGM. Triple's now AGM. So that was some moves happening with AP in the off season. But yeah, no, I've been in talks with Chip, and yeah, he knows that I wanna. I don't. It wasn't because I really hated AP, but I want to try out new things, and he said that he was down, but I didn't want to ask to just get cut. I thought maybe if he could find a good trade for me to go somewhere, and someone else wanted me, and he could find some value, then that'd be worth it. So I think he told me the trade window doesn't open until the 15th.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I was
It's
like, I don't know if that's public information.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it
it will
is. Yeah.
be
So
after
I won't know for the
the
next 10 days, but I
yeah.
will be
Mhm.
gone. I'll be going somewhere.
Oh, a little vacay.
Yeah, yeah,
Little
yeah, yeah.
Little
vacay
one season
action.
vacay.
And then I'll come back to AP. Although I'm pretty sure this is the last season AP is actually gonna be AP.
Oh,
Mm,
Yeah.
I
man,
did not know
If
that.
if I recall correctly, I do believe Chip said that like in the franchise chat to everybody that he wanted to rebrand it, but he wanted to keep the season one more time as AP. Because I believe Triple
Yeah,
Man was the one who made it Angry Pirates.
yeah.
Because
Mhm.
before it was whatever Dr. Freeman's or I mean pumpkin spice latte Freeman, whatever you call him. It was his franchise before, and it was something else, and then I believe it got changed to Angry Pirates, and now Chip's gonna change it again. So who knows? Maybe I'll be
Okay.
Awesome.
back.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of changes, there we can kind of segue that into another change that's happening over the off season and scaling into the combines here. YC is another one of those franchises that is rumored on this rebrand. We saw them almost get a rebrand in what was it during the
Almost
off
became
season?
DOA
Yeah,
shortly
DOA.
after finals happened. I
So
think the day of
ironic, dude.
finals.
It
And
is
it was so
pretty
dead on
Ironic.
ironic.
arrival.
It
It
was
was so dead on
DOA
arrival.
itself, bro. Yeah.
um, I am interested to see if maybe they do come out with a interesting rebrand going into the season, or if
It
maybe
has to
they'll
be
do an
more.
AP situation.
It has to be more interesting than the Lambda Esports Club, right?
Oh
Has to
yes,
be
the
Bro.
Lambda Esports.
Oh my
Lambda
gosh.
Esports Lek. Hey yo, we're playing Lek this week. Just sounds like you got phlegm stuck in your throat.
I will
Uh,
say I don't think we're any lect gamers are in recruit. I think their
Lek doesn't
lowest
have a
tier
tier
is
or
prospect.
recruit.
He sent a
Yeah,
message to the recruit chat though. Whoever the GM is, assume it's a he. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But he messaged
they.
the recruit chat and was like, "Yeah, like everyone was chirping the esports." He's like,
I
"Yeah,
did
I'm
see
never
that.
making a recruit tier team."
That
He's
was
like, "You
funny
guys
as
suck."
fuck.
He's like, "Nobody's gonna play for me." I was like, "That's hilarious."
Yeah,
I
seems a
mean, to be
little
fair,
soft.
it did seem like many people weren't willing to play for certain teams this season. So, but there is not much of a choice
I
once you're
really don't
drafted
care
onto a
what
team.
team I play for, man. I think most people are actually on that wavelength that people don't really care where they play for. The main
I
thing
don't
is like
necessarily
playing.
agree with that.
I think a lot of people
Ah,
care about who they play with, not quite the franchise they're
yeah,
under.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I think it's more so who they're playing with, and like I guess who the GM is kind of I guess is the franchise in a way,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I
I
mean, I would
mean,
say go ahead, Anders.
I'd play under Wet if I had my boy Ruby, you know? Like that's legitimately I'd play anywhere as long as I had Ruby or some of the other guys here, Noah, Clancy, guys like that. As long as I knew who was my team, at least one of my teammates, and trusted that we could build a good enough team off DEs and FAs, I don't think it'd really matter what umbrella we're under.
Wet
Well,
also had
you
a GM change though, right?
they did.
Yeah, they
You would
got
be a
bored.
better you would be a better man than me, Anders. I can't say I would say the same. Uh, I
Well,
definitely think that I think it matters on the players for sure, but the franchise that you're in my opinion, I feel like definitely weighs a lot heavier than maybe some may say because of the resources that you have in said franchises. I think
mhm,
that the three of you guys. I mean, of course, I don't necessarily know the super deep ins and outs of AP or ATL, but um, I, from what I've heard and things like that, and the information I do have, I don't think it's the best in terms of inside resources that a franchise could have in comparison to like a franchise like AVI,
mhm.
um, or I would even say like OS has a lot of, or Frog as well. There's a lot of like team building up ways that every tier kind of helps the person under them, so to speak. And I don't really get a lot of that, at least hearing from in those two franchises. So
Yeah, I get that. Obviously, I'm gonna speak on ATL, not AP. ATL last season, and it could have just been because of my injury and I wasn't around the team a ton. Like I was trying to do my best to help them in ways that I could, but obviously can't do much. Uh, with my predicament, I know We had 2 new AGMs this season. We have Dido and Chibbap.
Mhm.
Shout out Chibbap. So they've been very good about messaging and being like, look, we trust you guys to build a roster on what your vision is.
Mhm.
And whatever that vision is, we'll rock with it.
Well, there you go. That's good.
I
I'm
think
glad. I'm glad to see that there are some changes.
Yeah, compared to like, I know Rolly was also in college and had quite a bit to do last season. And the only time I really talked to one of my AGMs was when I got in trouble after the first episode of this show.
Of this show, yep.
Yeah, it's like
I don't know.
my onboarding was taken care of by Ruby. Ruby was the one who reached out and was like, hey, you want to play for ATL? And I was like, fuck it.
are most franchises not like that though?
I've heard
I
quite a
mean,
bit, but
Like I think a lot of franchises are very nice, like into what Noah was saying, like talking with other tiers and helping other tiers out, and
so there's a
I
couple
mean,
of franchises I can
I'd,
think of that don't do that.
I'd say to a
really, because
degree, like on AP, I don't know if it was different for you, Milky, but like other than like Laws, Drewby, and Chip, there wasn't really. I guess Sainted did like talk to us a
Sainted
bit.
did a ton, yeah.
There wasn't really anyone
And
else in like the higher
keep in mind,
tiers.
you named two of those guys were AGMs,
No,
so
I
the
understand, but I'm talking in
AGMs got
terms of just
involved a
like
lot.
no, yeah, absolutely, and like Chip was fantastic. I'm like
And
super pumped that he took over that franchise.
I would say I did play a lot with the prospect guys. I mean, every time I queued at them, I'm pretty sure I was bottom frag, but like they continued to let me play with them. Sainted was super nice. I think he's in contender or something, right? Like he's not even
Mhm.
prospect. Like, he's much
Yeah,
higher.
he's a
Um,
tendy.
and then I know Dusty was like super nice to play with. He was on the prospect team. And Laws is super cool, dude. Like Laws
Yeah,
would
Laws
game
is
with
a
like
G,
my
bro.
other
Laws
like
is a
real life
G. I played with
homies.
him.
Laws is a
Yeah.
sweet dude.
Shout out
Laws.
Laws. Hope you like that
Shout out
knife, homie.
Laws.
And I know a lot of people give AP flack, and like I never really understood why, cause like my experience in AP was honestly like really good.
That's good. I
The
will say,
worst
I
part
mean,
about being in AP was everyone else thinking AP was shit. And then
I
and then
think
like I'm pretty sure by the end of the entire season 12, like out of all of the franchises, AP had some of like the best season, or like
yeah,
second best season out of the whole
yeah.
franchise. So it's like
yeah,
Yeah.
got some powerhouses over there. I will say, I think that you know, going into this, season 13 here, I think that it is really good to see a lot of changes and a lot of mix-ups in franchises. It's always good to get like new blood, so to speak, filling in those higher roles on those franchises just to spice it up. Because I mean, like I haven't seen a big GM or AGM change since I began in season 11. You know, so
There's
like
been like what 5 this off season.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there's been a
so
lot.
it's good to see, and I think it will just speak volumes. Especially with a new season, we're gonna have a lot of DEs coming in, new players, and all across the tiers. To
And the
just kind
Reddit
of
post was
keep
just made,
cycling.
so get ready
Okay.
for more people to show up.
Yeah. Plus,
There
we
we
have
go.
the TikTok incoming probably
I
here
was
soon.
wondering that. So people can join in the middle of combines and become DEs, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Well,
last day for signups is, I think it's the last week of combines, which
even
is
right
So there'll be
now,
like
I just counted. We have 32 DEs that have played combine so far
in
Mm.
recruit.
but
in
DEs
recruit.
aren't necessarily new,
Yeah, there's a
right?
few
No,
people.
but
There's like Monty,
There's a lot of
there's
DEs.
But
uh
you can still
Young
say that
Young
there's
Robot's one of those big
mhm.
DEs that everyone knows. Like
yeah. So I mean, let's just ballpark, right? Maybe like 20 DEs would probably be like fresh new faces, which I still think is pretty good, and that's just in recruit alone. Like in
yeah,
prospect, there's a
yeah,
handful that I've been seeing. I can't really speak about the other tiers, but um, you know, and that's just
yeah.
it's only the first 2 nights, so it's just gonna
I
go
don't
on from
think
there.
we've also addressed that yet. Actually, if anyone doesn't know, Noah's not even in recruit anymore.
Yeah, Noah's. Yeah.
So
So,
that's fucked up.
kind of a segue. Noah currently is in prospect. As far as we know, he's said he's making his way back to us. I don't think he's had great combines. Noah.
They've been fine, bro. They've been
I have
fine.
not. I've done my due diligence. I'm playing the games. playing to the best of my abilities. I personally went out and numbers reported myself, uh, saying that I'm just getting absolutely crapped on. Please put me where my team needs me. We'll just have to see where it goes from there. I mean, I made a very, it was a very honest question. All I said is, hey, put me in recruit for a night. Let me play a couple games. If I'm busted, put me back in prospect. But if I shit the bed,
If I'm
keep me in
busted.
recruit, you know? So it's like,
Mhm.
we'll just have to see where it goes. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think I'm repping like a 0.86 in 5 games.
Yeah.
I'm on the bottom 30 of the prospect players. So I'm not doing too hot. But
So the thing is also, I mean, Noah, you didn't even get a match in recruit for
no,
combines. You
no,
No,
jumped
you
up
went
before the
straight.
season.
Yeah, you went straight up there.
Yeah.
I did indeed. I mean, with that being said, I know it's kind of been rumored around, but this will now be my third season, and the way that the combines are being handled this season, especially, is exactly how they were being handled when you're a fresh incoming player. It seems as though as they've done maybe like a reset, so to speak, to a majority of the players. Of course, keeping in mind your previous seasons, stats and things like that. But I can say that it's very volatile in those combines, seeing players constantly shift up and down. We're even seeing players that they're shocked that they're in prospect. For example, B-Web in wet, I mean, he only had like I think a 1.0 game in recruit for the one game he played, and then the next night he's in prospect. So I think they're just trying to keep it. I think they're keeping it volatile for the first week to see where players kind of shift, because there's a big opportunity that maybe they are supposed to be in prospect and they play really well.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see.
So about that, Noah, there are
Yes.
currently 91 prospects that have played a game according to Analytic Hill.
Yeah.
You are currently, where were you at? Oh fuck, I fucked up. 1 second, I'll be right back. I'll be right with you about that.
Of course.
I see 108 prospects on the CSC.
Yeah, there's 108, but only 91 have played a game according to Analytic Hill.
Well, I will say
And
Atlantic
Noah,
will be a little late because
I
yeah.
was gonna say.
it's
So Noah,
it's
you are 73 right now.
correct, which would be the bottom 20.
It's not as shocking as Mr. 91, who is our great friend Colin J. Colin J is
But
number 91 of 91.
of course. So
Shout out to him.
I mean, with this being said, it's the same thing as everything else. The top. I think with prospect, I think there's 12 teams in prospect, if I'm not mistaken, or 14. I think it is. So then that puts you about, if you're a top 80 player, you're going to be on a team, right? So like
Mhm.
the bottom 80 is where it kind of gets a little interesting, where players are going to be dropping and things like that. I mean, I think that I'm not going to say anything, 'cause people are going to think I'm manipulating my numbers, which is definitely not the case. If you know me the whole off season, because it was basically a question that was being asked pretty often, I'm going to play where the combines take me. Shit, if that means I'm taken to fucking contender, like I go to contender, like it's just how it goes. So we'll just have to see what happens. There's still a lot of time left in these combines. Returning players, MMR doesn't lock until January 14th.
That was the
So,
11th.
nope, the 14th.
Okay.
So I've got 9 days, which I think that's 4 combines left
Mhm.
until we'll see if I'm in prospect or not.
With that, also, I mean, can we get a guarantee that you're going to be back here even if you're in prospect?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, no hate to those prospect guys, not like any
They
of
have no
them are probably
personality.
watching,
They have
but
no personality. Don't
Jesus.
worry about it.
their egos are massive. They shit talk on recruits. They think that they're better than us. I mean, I'm not going to say much, but they haven't even gotten the full 100% match day Noah. This is like off season. I'm just going to play combines Noah. So uh, we'll see. If I am in prospect, then they better watch out because they don't know what's coming. But
But are we
we'll
going
see
to
how
get you
it
back
goes.
on the show?
But yes. I completely like ADHD moment there. Yes, I will be on the show, of course. This is my home. This is a show that I have worked, try to build up the reputation that it has, with stats for this season. Finally, thank God, when stats they're now. We'll have stats for these games, and I'll definitely do my fair share of looking into the recruit games, and I'll be here every match day afterwards to communicate about what happened in the nights.
Fuck yeah. We're getting Noah back, baby.
And also, of course, with the copium-based opinions as well. Gotta have that
Yep,
there.
fuck wet. Fuck wet. Love
Yes.
Bort. Love Bort. He's done nothing wrong. Fuck wet.
Yo, Board's legit as fuck, dude.
Nobody dislikes Bort. We all just have a bad taste in our mouth from Zotong being GM.
I don't even know Bort, to be
got-
honest.
The only times I've talked to him is combines, and he offered me a contract already.
Whoa, we're leaking in already, Goldie, eh?
Nah, I mean,
Hey,
it
I
is what it
mean-
is.
shit, Goldie. You want to leak some more shit?
Hey,
There's
everything gets
been-
leaks on the weekly recruit.
There's been a few
We
teams
out
that
here
have
to
reached
leak.
out.
Well, they should. You're quite the player, Goldie. It's
Colty
gonna be
is.
interesting.
Yeah, I know. In ATL, we've looked at because basically the entire AP roster is blowing the fuck up. So there's been some conversations about cannibalizing that roster.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Eating it up.
absolutely.
There's definitely been some cannibalization thoughts going on over there.
I'll tell you what I told Bort. I am not going to accept anything until
Until
the
the
18th.
Yep,
The
and I
18th.
heard that, and that's why we're doing our due diligence over on ATL with
I
every
want-
possible option.
I want my combines to speak for themselves, and we go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice to know. Nice to know you're not pulling, doing what Sentinel wants and signing pre-deals everywhere.
No, I'm
Yeah.
fucking playing.
Sentinel has
I-
14 pre-signs.
I know. I'm playing pretty much. I think every combine night. I've got the last week of combines off completely, so I'm gonna be
I know
playing every night.
I'm probably gonna miss tomorrow night's combines just because I have work. So
I'm gonna try and
Well,
get like 10 games in tomorrow.
Speaking of combines, since like we said, I am in prospect, so I haven't been able to really delve into the new.
Oh, yeah, here we
the
go.
new DEs and new faces. But this is what I would say we're probably targeting this episode at least for.
yeah,
Let's talk about some DEs that or FAs that have been
FAs.
standing out to you guys.
Yeah. Also, real quick, shout out to analytichill.com for giving us great stats and a great way to view them. Also, shout out to the CSC website, has stats. That's where we're getting this from. So, DEs, if you question where we're getting stats from, check those two because there is going to be some slight variation.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I've got
Mhm.
a couple people that have impressed. Just looking through the list here. Bye Bye's had 4 games with a 1.0 rating. I played I think 1 or 2 of them with him. He subbed for us last season, right, Milky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One game and then lots of our scrims.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That stuck out to me. It's gonna be. I mean, like a 1.0 is decent.
Yeah.
He's a decent player. There was one other person.
Has anyone played with
Thematics.
Huntwick? Oh yeah, thematics.
Huntwick?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
I played with Mickwick.
Yep. I've
No. I'm
I
talking
was gonna say
Huntwick.
there are some wicks I saw. There's a couple wicks
Yeah.
on that
Mhm.
on the CSC stat page there.
I mean, obviously, V Sugma has been
Disgusting.
impressing quite a people.
Yeah, I mean 7 games played with a 1.3. I mean, this is the thing, right? So like, and with combines, especially how volatile they are. In my personal opinion, if you just look at probably the top, I don't know, out of the DEs, if you take the probably top 7 DEs, they're all above a 1.10. So if
Mhm.
theoretically speaking, you could probably take those out of your mind because they're probably going to get placed in prospect for at least a night to see where they play with the movement and things like that. And if you don't want to say the top 7, you could at least say the top 5. You have Dynamite dropping a 1.35, Huntwick with a 1.33, Sugma with a 1.3, Mickwick
Mickwick with a
was another one with
1.23.
2.3, and Van Wishon with a 1.2 as well.
Yep.
Young Robot's another one in there. I definitely think Robot's going to get some action in Prospect, just to
Yeah.
throw up there. But what other players have you guys been seeing other than these top guys? Anyone near the bottom?
I don't know where Rye's at in that, but
Rye has
Rye
9 games.
0.95.
Yeah,
0.95.
Rye.
yeah,
not
Rye's fucking been
Rye's a
fantastic.
weapon. Yeah.
Right, is a
I
weapon, and
think
especially
I think Rye's a early second round pick. If like judging by what we have now, and obviously the Reddit post just went out, so we're gonna get an influx there. Rye is gonna be one of those not quite first round picks, but you get Rye in like the second, and that's basically a first rounder. Like if you have a first round keeper, Rye is worth taking.
I definitely agree.
Plus,
I mean,
yeah.
I think the benefit with, I mean, as we've with these DEs and things like that, we do have a couple people that came from previous seasons or were PFAs last season and are finally opening into the DE slot. Like Rye's been an FA for 3 seasons.
Yep.
So
Rye,
Were they
Crimson King,
PFA?
or I guess now
yeah, PFA.
is Crimson
So,
King now Cameron King? Is that what
no,
happened?
that is a different player.
Is it
Crimson
not?
King is still Crimson King.
Could have
No,
swore Crimson King.
Cameron King is Crimson King.
Yep.
Oh, I see. Oh, I didn't see Cameron King.
If you
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
see Crimson King has now got like
Oh,
the
I see
Keck,
that.
like the so like I think when they changed names they became
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
I don't know
I
Crimson
mean,
what
yeah.
King
analytical broke or like and
is
Sid C broke.
been one of those players that's been a PFA. So I mean that's the thing, is those players, they're coming in with experience on the season, which is something not every DE has.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's gonna be big.
Yeah,
I
and I
think
mean,
Brian switched on. Is Brian switched on a former player? I think I saw.
well, Brian is prospect.
Brian, no, Brian
No, there's a
switched on.
different Brian. There's Brian
Not-
switched on.
Yeah.
Switch
Oh,
BRYAN switched on.
there's another Brian, huh?
Yeah, there's another Brian with a
There's 2
.80
Brians.
over 2 games.
Right. That is interesting. That will be.
I mean,
We
if we're
haven't-
talking about FAs, I mean, you got to mention the boy that's on the podcast, Colty.
Hey.
Colty is up there. I think you're.
Hi, Colty. Yeah, Colty has a 1.05.
top
Yeah.
10 in terms of DEs and FAs. You were
According
top 10 on
to-
that list.
Analytical, like all of my stats are top 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean,
And that's not even me trying to just like toot my own fucking horn.
No, go ahead.
that's somebody you got to look at. I mean,
Yeah,
Monty.
I'm kind of the best. Fuck everyone else.
I mean, also looking at it, we've got Monty back from season 11.
yeah, Monty will be interesting.
It'll be interesting.
I will definitely
It'll-
be intrigued to see where he ends up. I mean,
If I
Monty, if
say
you're
anything,
listening,
I'm in trouble.
Monty, if you're
And I do
listening,
not like being in trouble.
You're probably not listening, but you know, I'm excited to see where you end up playing. You know, all I'm gonna say is, I'm in prospect now. You're lucky. If I was in recruit, I would dumpster on you with love.
Yeah. You want to know a funny thing, Noah? I actually messaged Monty earlier today.
Well, don't. So
Damn.
we can
I
talk about
mean-
that. We can talk about that out of podcast.
So, another big DE that I saw from last season that was a PFA but is now a DE is Atrax.
yes, I love
Atrax. Trax is dropping a .88.
which isn't bad. I mean, and he's
No.
listed as a support player, and I think that is what he's mainly does.
And if you
especially
can
in the
pick
10
up
hands.
Atrax, that's a good pick. I mean, Lax is another one right
Say,
above him with a .89.
If we're
Jim
gonna talk
John,
about
shout out
tracks,
Jim John.
gotta talk about Jim John. We love Jim John.
Everybody
John?
loves Jim John, bro.
Mhm.
He's been. I'm very excited to see where he ends up playing.
Jim John is. I haven't quite got to play with them.
I think. Well, let me tell you, you're
He-
missing out because he is a phenomenal guy, and I think a phenomenal player with an unlimited ceiling. I think
Mhm.
he will just benefit from being in a franchise with a core of maybe 2 or 3 keepers already, to kind of just develop him and make him into a beast of a player. I think he's definitely going to be an undervalued player. Just
Well, honestly,
because
just looking
for
at his
this,
stats, he's got a 0.89 rating with 9 games played and an impact rating of 0.83. Like
Recruit? Like I'm
for his
missing a player on
rating
the sheet.
being that low, not low, but like not on the
yeah.
upper echelon, that's pretty good.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, with that being said, his last 3 games that he's played, he's had a more consistent rating there with a 0.9 average at least. So I think he's trying to like kind of find his groove in the games that he's playing in these combine nights. So
Why the
there's
fuck am I missing Jim John
His
his
name's
on
name's
my
Lax.
sheet?
Lax.
His
Oh,
name's
Lax.
Lax.
Oh, I was like,
That's
yeah,
probably why.
Lax. I was talking about
Yeah.
Lax, and y'all started talking about Jim John. I was like, who the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah.
Hey, bro, it's such a sick fucking name, dude.
Jim John is
Jim
great.
John,
One
bro.
DE that's stuck out to me considerably more than the others, doesn't have an uber high rating or anything like that, but Martyr. I got to play with him last night,
Ooh.
and apparently he used to play in IM. He was saying a few years ago or something like that, and
Yeah.
like his knowledge and his calls in that Inferno game that we played last night were just like insane. Very
Oh,
impressed.
nice,
Yeah, I
nice, nice.
mean,
Mm.
you want to talk about IM experience? Apparently, we have a recruit that has main experience.
No way.
Yeah,
Apparently,
man, like,
That's
Who?
just a lie. That's just a
May
lie.
Zydo apparently has main experience.
No, I don't believe that for a damn second. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean,
Because I know.
of course, like I'm a prospect player, so I'll take the reins on this, right? I don't know Zydo personally. I think I happened to play in 1 or 2 10-mans with him on the opposite team. I think that he's a character for a DE. I know that he's making his rounds with talking to signed players, which I think is a really good thing. Any DEs that are listening to this, I think that you want to make your name known, and you have to pick a way on how you're going to do that.
Yeah,
Sometimes you have to take the villain arc, or sometimes you could just be good, right? I think that
sometimes
Zydo
you have
is
to take
trying to
the
make.
Ender's Arc.
I think Zydo is taking the route of just trying to talk and get his name out there as much as he does. I mean,
Mhm.
it's working. We're talking about him right now.
I mean,
But
I
with
can
that
just
being
be the
said, I mean,
toxic one and say that
I
I've
mean,
had
Dude.
nothing but fucking bad experience with the guy so far.
well,
I
all
was
I'm
I
gonna
was
say.
about to say I think he's taking the Ender's arc. You know,
There's
I was
there's
gonna
I
say,
two
bro,
The
I
there's
Yap
two
just said
arc.
people that
that.
there's two
I
DEs that I've
just
run
said that,
into so
Melky.
far that I've not
Yeah.
been impressed with in terms of like attitude, and I'll fucking call them out right now. That's Zydo and Monty.
Well, I mean, we could talk about it. I mean, of course, I will say, Monty coming in from a previous season, he should know that you have to have a positive outlook. I mean, 3 of us, well, all of us have been on a team before. Myself, this would be
Mhm.
my 3rd season. So, you know, I know what franchises are looking for. I know what captains are looking for. Um, and this will go for every DE. Just be whatever arc that you want to play to get your name out there. You can still be a nice, chill person,
Yeah, you don't have to be a
like,
piece of shit that acts
I
like you
can,
fucking know everything. Like it's
and I mean,
crazy, bro.
and
I
in my
can
opinion,
It's
admit
crazy.
I've seen a couple of my draft notes. One of them just says good chill or good vibes, dude.
yeah,
That's it.
and I
And
mean,
that's the team I end up playing for this season.
yeah.
So
Especially in recruit, like, our mechanical skill across the board is pretty all over the place, like on the higher and low ends, but in the medium range we're all pretty the same, right?
We're in
Like,
recruit
so
for a fucking reason. Like this
exactly.
yeah.
isn't
So
premier. Like
the thing that's going to carry you and make your way and get your name really more respected, I would say, not known, just a respected name, is going to be your attitude. And I mean, in my opinion, if he's saying, this is Saito saying that, trying to I don't know if it was maybe a flexing comment or something like that, but bragging that he has main experience and he's a recruit player, that kind of hits a different way. I mean, in my opinion,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
like
really think that
saying.
should.
that's like
be
Remember?
something
saying
that you're flexing.
I fucking yeah, I played in the qualifiers for the major. Yeah, we lost in the first fucking game in the open qualifiers, but I
Yeah,
still
dude, I
played in
was
them,
just about
bro.
to say that's like saying I have major experience because the Face It London major I did the open qualifier and lost the first fucking game.
But I mean, I would be, maybe he's not lying, right? Maybe he's just cracked. But I mean, at
I
least
mean,
from the players that have played with him, and the 2 games that I played against him, I don't really think that is something. If you're gonna say something, especially an egregious uh,
Back your
thing
shit
like
up.
that, to say, you have to back it up. Maybe he can, and he just hasn't shown it
That'll
yet.
be a funny segment. Cracked or yap.
Well,
Character,
if he can
yeah.
make it.
Yeah.
Enders is going on the yap
Uh,
list.
yeah, absolutely.
Enders
I
is
don't care,
Canada yap.
brother. But the thing is, at the end of the
Yeah.
day, it's vibes. I'm not out here like, yeah, I'm gonna need everybody to listen up and listen, do what the fuck I say.
But yeah, I mean, definitely to finish that, just if you're a DE, I mean, FAs, you were DE before, or you were a signed player before, but just stay positive, have a
Mhm.
chill vibe to yourself, because that's what teams are going to look at. Especially if like your stats can't back it up. Like if you're a
Oh
mid-range
yeah.
player and you're trying to be the toxic guy, like you're just not going to get picked up. I'd
I'm-
pick
Mhm.
I'd pick someone worse that has a better vibe than someone who's better and toxic.
Tell
I'll
me
add.
about it. That's
I'll
what my
add to
entire
that.
career is. That's
I'll
what my
add to
entire
that.
career is.
Draco, for example, he's played 5 games with a .66 rating. Not super impressive, but every
Correct.
game that I've played with him, he's been so fucking chill.
I can.
Like,
There you go.
My only problem with Draco is I still don't know exactly what his voice sounds like.
No, well, you're not going
I
to.
don't,
He's
I
the
don't even know
DE.
who that
He's very
is.
quiet as well.
He is
Yeah.
very
But I
quiet.
mean, you got to think about it. Is there like if it's your first time coming in, like for me, for
Oh, yeah.
example, last season I was quiet as fuck every single like combine just
Yeah.
because I didn't know
Mhm.
who the fuck I was playing with.
Yep.
True.
And for some people, being an extrovert really helps during combines because you're going
Well,
to hear them a lot more, and therefore they're going to be heard a lot more by scouts and shit because that's kind of important. Knowing who you are is the difference between getting drafted in like the 5th round or getting drafted in the 7th.
yeah, I mean,
Or even like what Kev said to me about last season. So I played 5 games in combines, and he and Drop played way more, and he said the reason why he chose Drop over me is because he had the
You
more
played a lot more.
experience. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Ooh,
And I mean, I don't
I
want
have
to
a.
toot my I don't want to like toot my own horn personally, but
Go
you
for it.
four can attest to it. I mean, I don't really think, besides Kev, there's another signed player that really goes and above in the extrovert and like leadership role that I or Kev would take in a combine setting. I mean, the four of you should be able to attest.
Oh
In every
God,
game that I was with you,
you
I
called.
I not just that I called because of my role or anything like that, but I communicated with you. I asked you open-ended questions, like to make you feel comfortable, push
Mhm.
you to be getting your name out there, things like that. It was an open book for players, and I don't think
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you guys have that now, and that's what you guys should be doing for these recruit players, is
Well,
trying to do that in whatever way that you can. And I hope
that's
that,
just it.
I'm sure that is happening.
It goes both ways. Like
Yeah,
we have to be as respectful to them as they, in theory, should be to us. Like
absolutely.
at the end of the day, it's just a fucking beer league. Yeah, we all want to win.
Absolutely.
But like we're here to
We're
have
all
fun.
human.
Yeah, I mean, I will admit, if it's my first time playing with somebody, I'll go, "Hey, does any of the DEs want to call or op?" Because those are the two big roles that kind of, if you want to do one of those two things, you have to have it on film, and you have to have somebody who signed here for calling. You have to know, like, okay, this person's calling.
Yeah.
But like, I can tell you, there are some people that second, third game in, I'm like, "Hey, look, I'm taking the op."
Dude.
Well, Enders, but
It's
you don't
like,
need to do that. But Milky, I know you wanted to say something, so you go ahead.
Yeah, just when we were talking about DEs, it doesn't make sense to me because I was really scratching my brain there. I was thinking, what DEs have I played with that I thought were like actually really wowed me? Um, and I
Mhm.
tried to, I couldn't remember his fucking name, so I started scrolling through all the DEs, and this is the problem I find going on right now is some of the demos are just broken.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get like completely. I mean, they're way better than they were last season, which were non-existent, so that's better. But the Sinbad's a
ooh,
DE who I'm pretty sure just joined the league, and I think he only played one combine. And I'm looking at his Analytical right now, and he doesn't have a game played apparently. But dude
Mm.
dropped
Okay.
like 25, maybe 30 kills, like
There
Oh
you
somewhere
go.
shit.
between that range, bro.
Okay.
And
I
he was
mean,
going hard. Like he had like massive clutch rounds where like we were probably gonna lose, like or like go behind or something, and he would come in huge. Sinbad's a sweet DE that I thought was pretty awesome. I'm
I
surprised
mean,
he doesn't have stats. He
similar
must have just played the one game that I played with him, but.
Similar but different to Sinbad is Naze. Like Naze is a player that I played in like I think 2 combines with.
Yeah, but Naze has got
Naze
like a
was
0.88. Like
yeah,
Sinbad's
yeah, yeah.
rating after that one
It's
game
point
would be like
0.7.
1.2.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean different in
Yeah.
the way of like Naze is one of those people that he was IGLing, whether it be because they had to or because they wanted to. But like Naze was down to just do whatever and fill, which is
Yeah.
going to help Naze's draft stock because people are going to know who Naze is compared to a couple others such as Draco because Draco's very quiet.
Well,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, talking
But there's
one
also
thing.
things that you're looking like you're looking for different things than like I'd be looking for if
Yeah.
I was scouting, you know? Like
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a good example of that is everyone knows who Lax is, right?
Mhm.
And Lax is
Yeah.
a
Yep.
pretty quiet guy, actually. If anyone
Yeah,
actually like,
he is.
Lax doesn't talk and chat very much. I mean, even when he joins the voice chat, he
but
only
he's a
speaks
fucking
when he's
G.
spoken to.
Mhm.
Yeah, but he's a G, right? Everyone enjoys playing with him, but he plays enough. Like that's I think a big thing is like playing enough so
Yeah,
that people notice you too.
Yeah.
And
That's the other
absolutely.
thing. If
yeah,
you do have a low rating, like use Draco for example, like that 0.66, don't be discouraged by that. Keep playing. Like that's only going to help. Like don't get your 3 games in and it's like, "Oh shit, my rating's bad. I'm not going to get picked up." Like don't worry about that. Just play your game, be you and continue on. Play as many as you can.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
And
I was
also, I
about to
mean,
say that too.
to really like extend on that, and mean in my opinion, and this is what I was kind of shooting for in my first season, right? Because I didn't have too hot of a combine experience myself. Um, be that guy that's a point 0.6 rating, and then you go in preseason and your numbers, like your MMR is like 160, and then you go preseason, you have this confidence, you have your 5 stack, you have your team,
Hmm.
you've been practicing, and then you just demolish. I mean, then you're a 160 player that should be, high tier max, and you have so much value. I mean, you're
Mhm.
not only helping your
Yeah,
team, you're helping your draft stock for the future of the season, and you're just getting your name out there because you're like, wow, how did we let
Yeah.
this guy fly under the radar?
Yeah,
yeah,
Poutine last
So
season.
exactly,
yeah. I was
there was
about
a
to say
there.
Poutine's a good example of that. And like, and
Yeah, poutine's a great example.
I'm not really obviously I'm not scouting very much. I mean, I'm taking notes in my head about people that I like playing with and stuff. If like the team captain that I end up on even wants, some
Want
Yeah,
some
input on it
input?
or whatever. But
insight.
Yeah.
like, yeah, I would much rather draft someone who's got like a 0.75 with like 10 games played as opposed to someone with like a 1.0 but
With
only played
3.
3 combines.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because it's like,
Exactly.
okay,
Yeah.
everyone has a good day. You can literally play 3 combines in one day, no problem. Especially in this recruit tier. So it's like, okay,
Yep.
the guy had a good day, but like this other person's actually grinding, and like I think that shows that like that person
Yeah.
wants to have a good record, right? Like they're out there doing a lot more. And I think
Yeah.
that goes
Absolutely.
for the most part for everyone. I mean, like I said, I'm not actively looking for people, but I'm sure a lot of scouts look at stuff like that, right?
Oh,
Yep.
hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You are not wrong. You are
Do
not wrong
we
at all.
do we want to talk about any players that are currently signed and any surprises in terms of
Um, I guess
high
the
or
biggest
low?
one, the biggest one is Poutine getting moved up. I know some people were like he's not going to, but
Poutine's a contender player, bro.
Yeah,
Poutine
Oh,
is
dude.
Poutine's fantastic.
but what I
Yeah,
will
Poutine's
say,
too
what I
good.
will say, and and this is just gonna be, I'm gonna chank their or yoke their chain a little bit here. Kevin Jeff made Poutine the player that he is.
Hmm.
Poutine
Yeah, well, they
in
built him up.
combines,
Yeah.
Poutine's in combines last season was not the player that he was pushing finals, right?
No, no
Let alone
chance.
pushing mid-season, right?
No shot.
They grew him, made him confident, and that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what these other DEs need to be. And that's the point earlier, right? Like if you get into a team that has 2 players, 3 keepers that not only you are friendly with, you're positive around, like take all of the information they give you because being in one season for team play is such a big difference. And then if you have a keeper that's been there more than that, then that's just more information that they can give you, and that can really develop your game. I think Poutine is a contender player because of the team that he was on, not because his skill just went crazy, right? Because the mechanics has always been there for him, but it's his mind, like his game sense of the game, the understanding has been developed. Like that's what's making Poutine such a good player that he is. And
Yeah.
that's why I knew, like after finals, Poutine's going high prospect and will perform in prospect. It's not like he's just going to be there and it's going to be average.
Mhm.
Yep.
So Poutine for
Um,
sure.
Another player that's kind of surprised me that they kind of haven't, or it's that with their performance is Fresh. I mean, Fresh was what, near tier max
Yeah.
last season?
Yeah.
Well, now
And
what I will say,
Yeah.
I don't think Fresh should have been, and that's not because Fresh is
Yeah.
bad. That's just because I think Fresh was in a similar situation as like Colty yourself or Sky or Drop. Well, no, not really Drop because he had a couple combines, but like
Mhm.
I think Fresh only had 3 games played and had a pretty high facet level. So like he was
Yeah.
put to tier max. But
Fresh also had a really high matchmaking rank. Like he was
right.
He was
legendary even
supreme or
last year.
some shit.
Or
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
yeah, I
my
think he was
fuck.
So
supreme or some shit.
so
So I think
like
that
for
numbers took that into account as well when making his
yeah,
MMR.
and I mean, I don't think that Fresh is bad because I don't think that at all. Do I think Fresh could have probably done better if he was on a different team? Yeah, but I will say that I'm excited to see where he goes because I think it's a I think it's a good thing that he has the ability to probably drop in MMR and get on a better team because he'll be cheaper, and then that way he
Mhm.
can explode up to his
Well,
higher potential.
he
Yeah.
technically still has his contract with Cal, right?
Yeah.
So
He does,
they haven't
but
cut him.
correct.
He still plays for Cal as
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
right now.
Cal hasn't made any cuts, I don't think.
No.
No, which
Yeah.
the cut window is also still till the 14th. So the
Yeah.
14th will be the last day that you'll see any, either expired players be re-signed like officially, or players are getting cut. So
Mm.
Yeah, it'll be like 2 weeks from now until the real moves start happening, in my opinion.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and with how fluid the MMRs are going to be throughout the next 2 weeks too, like it could change day to day on whether you're
Oh
in
yeah.
recruit and prospect.
Yep, absolutely. That's why you boys better buckle up. Maybe you'll be up there with me.
Nah, not my
I see
ass.
you up there,
Thank
homie.
you,
Have
man.
you seen me? I'm putting up similar numbers to last season. 0.88 in
Yeah,
22 games versus a
yeah,
0.88 in
AKA
5.
garbage.
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm garbage. I'm willing to admit that.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if my MMR goes down because last combines, um, I had this like mindset in my first season that I'm like oh I want to do like the best me that I can be, right? And I was always kind of like forcing the op to myself and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then as I actually played the season, I learned that everybody in recruit wants to op, right?
yep,
Op's the
Oh yeah.
easiest weapon to use too. You know what I mean? Like
Point and click
so
adventure
if
game.
you're exactly so if you're playing with the op every combine match, yeah, your number is going to be a lot higher than it should be. And I honestly thought my MMR was higher than it should be last season, but it kind of made sense because I was doing really well with the op, but I
right.
couldn't rifle. I got a lot better at rifling this year, especially in the off season. I focused a lot on being better with the rifle, even though I plan on opping next season. But like, I
Having
think
the
it's just
backup
something.
plan works.
Yeah, exactly. But
It's
and now that I'm rifling in my combines, my rating's going down to what it was last combines. But that's because I also want to show that I can do both. You know.
And you know what?
Absolutely.
There's 100% fucking proof that you have. Sky and I were talking about it earlier, and we were talking about like what would our ideal like perfect world teams would be. And I put you on there, and I'm like, um, I've got I love how aggressive Milky's been playing lately. Makes my balls tingle. The growth that I've seen him play with the rifle from the start of last season till now is ridiculous. And he's like, yeah, Milky's been getting so much better lately, a lot more confident. You love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's it's just as simple as you putting in the time. Like
Yeah.
And playing
it's
more.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the big thing, and playing with like a team aspect too, right? It's so nice that like the community is so sweet here. Like, yeah, we had our team, but you could 5-man with anybody. You know what I mean? Like, you could
Oh
play.
yeah.
Like, I played with Noah a ton and stuff like that. During the regular season, not as much. Noah was obviously playing with his team more. He's guys kind of trying to grind for a playoff position, but
Was trying to carry my team a little hard, you know?
yeah, yeah.
He was
But I
trying to get
played a
them into
lot.
playoffs and see how good that worked.
Yeah. But I
Yeah,
played a
maybe
lot
I
with
should
like
have played with you.
everybody from everywhere. I played with a lot of FAs and stuff. We'd always invite, and the 10-mans were huge
I
too.
was just about to say, I think I gotta credit a lot of like even my personal growth to the 10-mans, like playing with the people that you don't play with for 3 months. I mean, obviously you do some 10-mans in between, but like the playing with the different people and like having people give you different tips and the shit talk and everything, it just like it's helped
Dewey.
me grow so much better. Yeah, shout out
Oh
Dewey,
yeah,
you piece
shout
of
out
shit.
Dewey, dude. We hate
Dewey
Dewey, but
misses
we love
those.
Dewey. Yeah, Dewey
Uh,
always misses those.
I gotta say though, like 10-mans in the off season are really where you learn who people are, because that 3 months during the season, from the first regular season match till the end of your season, whether it be the you don't make playoffs, so it's the last game of the season, or you do make playoffs and it's whenever you get eliminated, you're kind of boot camping with your team, you know.
Yeah.
Sure, you might run into 5-mans. Like I played with Noah before I got hurt. I played with Clancy before I got hurt. But like still it felt like it was a boot camp with your team, and if they called, it was like the mafia. If they called, you went there immediately.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
It
And
was just learning, like hanging with people too. Like
Mhm.
I was talking to Kev, and Kev's like, "Yo, last combines, I thought you were a toxic piece of shit," and my mind's changed completely. He's like, "You're just a piece of shit," and I'm like, "I know."
well, and
But
I
like
and
legit though, it's like the friendships you create, the way you become not necessarily a better player, but like I've learned so much shit from. I know I'm gonna be fucking sucking their dick here, but between Noah and the Toast Bros, the amount of
Yeah.
util that I've learned from you guys is actually fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
I do
about
my
to say that
best.
too. Is like during the regular season, like I didn't even know who the fuck Kev was. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
For real, dude.
and then in the off season, like, obviously I knew who Jeff was because he played so many fucking combines. But yeah, during the off season, it was interesting because I was kind of expecting, like, I remember that first week after the regular season was done, I was like, man, like I'm so like I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do. Like, we have to wait like all this time for next season to start? But it's like I think the off season was actually like a ton of fun, like getting to meet everybody and like all the jokes, the inside jokes that recruits got going on. It was amazing.
How our
Yeah.
season went, the off season was more fun than the fucking regular season.
Well, you know what
Honestly,
I
though, yeah, like in
All
my
right.
opinion, obviously the case with everybody, but for AP, 100%, man.
what I
So
oh, go ahead, Anderson.
so I know Colty, you're gonna have to leave here soon. So I kind of want to get on to the last bit of this episode that I really want to have you do with us. So I guess no, go ahead and then we'll get on that.
Okay. I just wanted to say real quick, I make it short. For all the DEs and FAs, you're gonna, no matter where you land on the stats, anything, everything like that, like um, all the days leading up to the draft, you're gonna be getting messages by either captains of teams, AGMs, GMs, whatever, of various franchises, offering you more than likely for like a tryout. A lot of them do 10 minutes for multiple people. Please, please do your best to be there, because that is going to be your time to show out, show that that's alone,
Mm-hmm.
your 0.5 is not actually a 0.5, right? And also
Mm-hmm.
it allows you to get your name out to multiple places. Be there, be there, be there. A lot of these guys, personally, I asked to join my 10-mans
Yeah.
to be
Yeah,
there.
Noah. Uh-huh.
And and that's how I got to know them and everything like that. And so just when you get messages, get excited, be proud that hey, I'm like making myself known. But you got to be there, you got to show up for those. And everyone will get them. Everyone's going to get drafted at the end of the day. And then in that
Then the real
case,
fight starts.
once you're drafted, it's time to make it or break it. Now you have to be, how
Mhm.
can I really show them I deserve to be on this roster spot? And that's when it matters.
Exactly.
So the stats now, who cares, right? Be the underdog. But once you get into preseason, that's when you should show out.
But even if your stats are bad, work on things that, like, if your aim isn't the greatest, you don't need aim. I mean, you kind of do, but for flashes, util damage, like shit like that, you can stand out with that instead of your rating necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now comes the fun part of this. So obviously we're not gonna do power rankings. That'll probably be first match night, I think.
Yeah.
I think we might do some more memes when it comes to preseason, but obviously because scrims also help the figure out preseason roster, it's kind of hard to do that. So now we're gonna talk about the favorite bit I have right here, and we're gonna talk about where do we think FAs or expired contracts are gonna land. Really quick, we're gonna start here with Noah, just in case he does come back to us and recruit. He's obviously staying with AVI,
I
right?
mean, I wouldn't say obviously.
Milky, Colty, Clancy. No, we're not gonna ask you because you're not gonna say shit. But it's pretty much a done deal that Noah is an AVI bird for life. That's our example.
Is it?
Noah on another roster is cursed imagery right there.
It's good.
Noah in like Noah with like AP in front of his name is cursed. Anything but AVI, it's not gonna look right.
All I'm gonna
I would
say,
disagree.
and this is gonna go for when you ask me too, Noah. Where you go, I go. What you see, I see.
So going down the list, I guess Colney has yet to re-sign with a UPS.
I think
I
Colney's
think
going up. He's going prospect.
Yeah, Colney's going to prospect, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Van
Sure.
Wischen is listed as a free agent on the website.
I think.
Do we think he's going draft, or do we think he's getting signed before?
I think he'll.
I think we need more time to see. Only 2 games
Yeah.
played. Can't really
Yeah.
judge it off that.
Yeah,
That-
I think a
played no
draft. I
with
think
him.
Van Wishen's a draft
Yeah.
until we get more info.
Yeah, I think he's a draft. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Colty. Time to play the fun game of where the fuck is Colty going?
I think
I'll put it-
Colty's a late round draft pick, to be honest.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm dog shit.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I view Colty going to ATL.
I can tell. I
That's a
will
joke.
respectfully decline the offer.
God
I
damn.
have already been offered on ATL, and I'm respectfully declining
You've
it.
been offered like how many teams so far?
We're gonna see.
There's
wet
been
Colty.
3 or 4.
3 or 4.
I'll put it to you this way: there is 3 teams that I have my eye on. If Noah comes back, I'm playing with Noah. There's no fucking cap.
Wait,
I'm
but
playing
I'm
with
not
Noah.
playing with just fucking Clancy. I'm not doing that.
Damn. That's fair.
I mean, I'll put it. Clancy's not an IGL.
Oh, that's fair.
yeah.
If for some reason Frog wants to offer me a contract, I'm going to Frog. And I have been offered a contract by Wet. And if those don't pan out, the previous 2, I'll probably sign with Wet.
Okay.
Before I kill him, though.
I know that hurts your heart to
Wet?
see, but like,
Wet Colty
Yeah.
is
Gross.
disgusting.
Gross.
or I'll play with
Um,
Milky on YC. I mean, wherever he goes.
Why
Oh my
see
God,
the
bro.
leak?
All right. I think Tim's the next one, yeah?
Yeah, Tim is, and I think that's gonna be one that goes to the draft. I don't think people are gonna pick up Tim.
I
Are we
think
talking Tim the big one?
Yeah.
Tim the big one. I think.
Honestly, if he didn't have his fucking soundboard off on this entire fucking off season, he'd probably get drafted. I don't think he's going to. Well, I mean, he has to, but it's going to be like 9th
The
round.
thing is, I don't think he's gonna get picked up and signed before
No.
draft happens.
No,
That's
I
the
think
main thing.
I think there's maybe 60-40. I think 60 that he gets picked up, 40 that he goes to
Mhm.
draft. The only reason I say 60 that he gets picked up is because he's been in the season now, or been in recruit for 2 seasons, and
Yeah.
just the team play experience alone. I mean, like he.
I mean, if you listen,
he does understand the game, right?
but also the thing is, it would have to be a team that doesn't want to practice. Because if you listen to Wheelo Pancakes interview over on Redacted, just kidding. The State of Recruit, I mean, they didn't
Yes,
practice
yeah.
at all.
But it was
So-
also, I mean, she came in halfway, like in the last 2 games.
Like the last 2 games, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
so that's the thing.
Of course, it's also YC
their
was
season
already
was
like
already
a 1 in
demolished at that
7.
point.
So
Mhm.
like, what are they supposed to do? But I don't know. We'll see.
Get practicing. Duh.
I think yeah. I think he probably goes to draft, but I think there is a chance he could get picked up. It just has to be to the right team.
Mm-hmm. MJ Ripshots, is somebody listed on this sheet?
Probably just an FA
It's
from like a old PFA or something.
yeah, I think it's gonna go to the draft on that one.
I mean, a .96. I feel like it depends on how. I'm going to use the word desperate because that's basically how it is. Really depends on how desperate teams are. Like last
Mhm.
season, we did see a lot of free agent signings before draft, but that
I
was only
think
because the draft class, like across the board, wasn't super strong. So if
my
the
ass was
draft
picked up in
class
the Force of Course. It wasn't.
if the draft class again is kind of weaker and the free agents are
Hmm.
stronger, teams will just sign the free agents. Of course, if they have the space.
Well, I mean, the
Um,
thing also with that is we saw mainly it was Hellfire last season pick up
yeah, I
free
mean,
agents.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
as the incoming,
Yeah,
team. So
which is also a thing because we saw that, and then we saw the other option, which Cal took, which is
Get
don't
only
sign any.
Ds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get only DEs, and we saw how that worked out. I mean, Cal didn't make playoffs, and Hellfire did. Which I think
Milky and I know how that worked out.
if we get if we get two new franchises, like I'm assuming we will,
I don't think for
we
recruit though. I don't think it's going to push to 14 teams. I think
I
it'll
could
probably
see
stay
it doing
12.
that because we're just now getting the Reddit posts and we're just now getting the TikTok by Xbox Lasagna.
Watch the post
I
not
mean,
pop off at all. Like, watch it get
Oh
like
let me
yeah.
two
tell you,
upvotes.
the post that the TikTok post that brought me, we still only had
Mhm.
10 franchises in recruit, and it's been 10 teams since like recruit. Well, recruit was a thing
Mm.
because of the TikTok.
This is
So
But
CSC Reddit.
season 11 had 10, season 12 had 12.
12. Yeah, I don't think
I
it
could
goes to 14.
see it might, honestly. It
I
might.
mean, we'll have to see what happens. I mean, I wouldn't mind 14,
I'd love a
you
big
know,
slime recruit team, and that's my
or an
contract
academic
expiring. Nah, big slime.
or a
Look at my
lambda.
profile picture. Look at my profile picture and tell me that's not a man who wants to go to big slime.
Yeah, okay.
Is it
Plus, I love my
fucking
boy
pink?
Konatoki. Shout out
No.
Konatoki.
So
Oh
Rooney's
well,
next. Yeah?
Rooney
it's
is
not popped
next.
off. It's at 104 upvotes.
Oof. Rooney is next.
I think I don't know. That's a big ATL over there for you Enders. So
Yeah,
um,
what do you think?
I think Rooney's a good player. I think he is. I think that Rooney's got a lot of experience. I think the only thing that Rooney, um, like I would say a con is like the tech issues. I know like in the season there was probably like 3 games that either like his headset was dead and like didn't have another one, or he had lag or whatever. Like that's a big thing, like people don't really think about tech issues being like an issue because more often than not, it's not a problem. But if you could chalk up 3 games because basically one of your players like is only 50% playing, it's very frustrating, I could see. So I don't know, but I think he's good. I like Rooney.
Fellow Canadian, shout out Canada.
Shout out Canada.
Yep, shout out Canada.
Milky and I are actually brothers, by the way.
Yeah, you guys didn't know that,
Eskimo brothers.
Yeah,
but
from
I
Yellow
mean, we already
North
talked.
in the
already-
northwestern
Yeah,
territories.
we did
We
talk
already
quite a
talked
bit about
about
Lax.
Lax already, so
I
Lax
could
is
view
getting picked up.
Lax. Yeah, I
I
think
don't see
Lax
how he
could be
doesn't get
picked up.
picked up.
I think Lax absolutely gets picked up.
signing.
I
Uh,
think
what
Lax
team,
gets
Colty?
picked
What
up
time do you think?
later if his MMR is respectable.
Colty, what
Like
team do you think Lax gets picked up by?
Oh, I don't like. See, I don't really like this whole segment this early into combines.
it's too tough.
Yeah,
It's really
I don't
tough.
know who's talking to who. I don't know if people like in my
Well,
opinion the way I would actually answer this is all of these free agents, they're going to FRG if they get an offer. You know what I mean? Like why the fuck would you not?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a really tough thing to say. Like um I don't know where Lax wants to be. I don't know who's looking at him, but I know that if FRG offered him, I'm pretty sure he's also friends with Jeff. So it's like,
They're IRL friends.
why would he not go to FRG, right? So it's like, it's a tough one to say. I think does he get picked up in general? Yeah, probably. I don't know where.
That's what I mean, because that's the other thing is, yeah, he's got 9 games with a .89 right now. Say he plays another 9 and absolutely shits the fucking bed, and he's down to like a .6, or he pops the fuck off and gets moved up. Like, it's just realistically, I get that we're doing this for the video, but it's just too early to say for anyone.
I think that you could just. I think I agree with that. I think that we could just probably, in terms of what we have in front of us, just a yes, no. If we think they'll go draft or they'll get picked up, like Sumari, I think they played last season as a PFA, if
I
I'm
think
not
so.
mistaken. I think I don't know how many games they sub, but I do know the name, so that's could be a signing, could be a draft, probably a draft in my opinion, only because there hasn't been any new franchises announced. Like a lot of the teams haven't like super blown up. So like the keeper space is going to be a problem, Does a team want to like
Use a keeper on a
invest
certain player.
invest 4 keepers,
Yeah.
if they already have players?
And what
Um,
rounds do keepers have to be? Can it just be at all
Based on-
any time in
no.
the draft?
No, it's based on your MMR. So for
Okay.
example, we'll talk about ABI draft, right? Because it's relevant.
No, it was a first round keeper.
Because my MMR was 277 or something like that, which is a higher MMR player. I'm a round 1 draft. Then you were like 250. You're a second round player with your MMR.
Yeah.
And then it goes from there. So like the top, like the first round and second round players are like tier max to like 260, and then it kind of
Yep.
goes from there, right? So like, yeah. But
Okay,
let's
so
go ahead and we'll rapid fire the rest of these players.
actually, I think this is the point where I think we have to say goodbye to Colty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
There's
got
Colty,
it.
you want to say anything before you leave?
Honestly, everyone that's joined the 10 mans in the off season, thank you. You guys, and you guys here too. Like, the community that we've built, that everyone has built, has been fucking amazing. Part of like the best things to look forward to is just playing with you guys and fucking absolutely doing degen shit with Milky, Kev, and Jeff. For any DEs listening, if anyone invites you to gamble, fucking don't. Unless it's with me and Milky. Unless it's with me and Milky, because you will win money with us.
Yeah.
Without us,
When Kev tells you to coin flip it, fucking don't.
no,
Not
don't.
coin flip it.
Do
dude.
not
Do
join
not coin
any
flip.
2v2 battles unless I'm cooking.
Fair. True.
Join the four-person shared battles with them. They hit.
No, those don't hit. We don't talk
I'm-
about those.
Pulled a Ruby on that one though.
That was a 2v2.
No, was it?
Oh, you're talking. No, yeah,
One-
that was a 2v2. That was you and Cent against 2 bots, bro.
Was it?
Yeah,
'cause
you're
we
gonna
split
argue
2,000. You're
Gamba
right. No,
with
no,
me,
you're right,
homie.
you're right.
All right,
Master
okay,
check, you're not the Gamba King.
I gotta head out.
We love
All
you,
right.
Goldie.
See you
Like
later,
Colty.
boys. Good luck to all the DEs. I am gonna shit on you during the season, Noah. I'll see you in a couple weeks back in recruit here, homie.
See you back in a couple.
Yeah.
Peace out.
See ya. So, okay, so obviously looking at this list, I mean, Colty made a good point. We don't really know where anybody's leaving. Is there anybody that anybody's super sure left on the list that like they're probably gonna get picked up before season?
On
Cameron
FA.
King.
Like Cameron King, and I think Tillicum might. Tillicum is one of those people that were here last season. If I'm correct, Tillicum
Yes.
was cut.
On Cal.
Yeah.
And then on Nan. Or Nan,
And
then Cal. I don't know. Something like that.
that's one of those players that like just because they have value, in fact, they know they've been in a season. That's kind of a big thing that might be worth picking up. It's one of those, you know what they can do. You've seen a season of them. If you've only got like 1 or 2 keepers, maybe. Because Tillicum, I don't think, is a super late early round keeper.
No.
But yeah. So yeah. Obviously, Milky's not going to the draft. We know that. Milky's no way in hell is he going to the draft.
No.
Milky's getting picked up, probably by YC or Cal.
Yeah, could happen. Could happen.
I don't
Could
see your
happen.
ass going to the draft. You're getting
I
picked
don't
up.
see it happening either, but it is possible. I mean, if it gets to the point where I can't get traded, then yeah, then I'll definitely be cut, and I'll be cut pretty late. So who knows if someone else wants to pick up an
Yep.
FA cut very late? Could be possible, but yeah, I don't see it happening really.
All right.
Hmm.
I have a question to go out on.
Yeah.
If we hypothetically get, and let's say 2 new teams, because I don't see them adding just one new roster, one new franchise to recruit. But if we end up getting them, who do you guys want?
Like
Well,
a
let me look at all
franchise
the
getting a new
franchises.
team?
Yeah, franchise getting a new team, or hypothetically,
team?
if somebody ends up, if a franchise gets a new recruit team,
Big
or
slime.
if somebody gets a franchise, who do you want to see?
I
I
want to
think-
see Big Slime
I was gonna think big.
make a recruit
Yeah.
team.
I want to see Big Slime
And-
get a recruit team too.
I think Cap in Scotland would actually be pretty decent having his own franchise. I don't think it's gonna happen. Probably not possible at all.
I wanna see a
especially 'cause he's
Dewey
now the
franchise.
AGM of
But I
Nan.
am a part of Nan, and the amount of work he put in on the Nan prospect tournament and stuff like that. I think
Oh,
Kevin
yeah.
Scotland would actually be pretty chill.
Mm.
GM or franchise manager. I
Look,
guess.
I mean, I
New
definitely think
franchise GM.
in terms of like what's most likely, if we were really breaking it down and thinking we could get 2 franchises in recruit, it would probably be Big Slime for sure.
Mhm.
But then I would say Headhunters.
ooh,
After.
Headhunters Guild.
Only because like, I know that they like to have franchises have, cheers across the board.
Uh-huh.
And those 2 teams are the ones that are only missing recruit, right? So
Well, my thought process was they're probably going to add a team that has historic, like, they've been around a long time, and they're probably going to add a team that doesn't have like a premier and elite roster. So I thought probably Academics and Big Slime.
well, Big Slime does have a premier and elite.
Yeah, but that's what I mean by like they're the historic team that has long length in the league.
Mhm.
But
I gotcha.
Academics feels that they don't have higher tier rosters.
Academics would be interesting. I think it's just going to come from like, do they want a recruit team? Because
Dude.
we all know that, and especially now, like
Mhm.
me myself, like I mean, like first night of prospect combines, they're dogged on recruit for 30 minutes. So like I don't think that we have the best reputation, at least before. I think now we do, especially with this show. Us just across the board making waves.
Mhm.
Which I think is just good. Like, trust me, when I was in there, I was fighting for the boys. Let's just keep it at that. Got a little disrespectful up in there. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe hurt a couple people's feelings. But I'm not worried about it. I'm pretty chuffed.
They're just mad because they belong in recruit.
Well, it's just funny because they think that they're so much better, but they're not. So, yeah. Anyways,
So yeah.
like one of the
Had to
guys
let
was
him
like,
know.
yeah, like tell me, like, is recruit just like silver twos? And I was like, are you a silver two? Because half my players are better than you. So let's
The
talk
thing
about
is,
it.
legitimately, I don't think we have many silvers.
No,
I don't think so. I think the average.
mean-
if I was gonna give a rank to it, I'd say Gold Nova Master is probably like the average recruit player.
I mean, of course, yes.
Which is
there are the
hilarious because I
low-
was an SEM.
like, of course, there are the
Yeah,
lower.
and you're worse than the average.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Got him.
but like, of course, there are like the lower players in recruit, right?
Mhm.
Mhm. Triple
that's
mans of the world.
They can't go anywhere else, right? So that's where recruit is. But like, I would say, if you cut recruit into like percentages, I would say the top 40% of recruit is better than the less than 50% of prospect. Like, I would say they're pretty interchangeable. Like, I would say,
Yeah.
of course, like the top end of prospect, yes, there's probably some scale of mechanical and like knowledge difference, but you're talking about top end to top end. Like, there's top end recruit players that are probably better, smarter, and know more than prospect players. Kev and I were talking about it a couple nights ago that if you put either one of us in another tier, I would say the highest I think we would probably go is like contender. I think once you get to Chally, it's probably a little bit different. But like if you put either one of us on a contender team and we're calling, we probably make the same results. Like our brains are exactly the same as like the higher tier players. We just don't sometimes have the
Mechanical skill.
well, I would say either the mechanical skill or the 4 other players on our team that we're telling to do that said thing have their pieces being the same as a contender, 5-man,
Mhm.
So yeah, I definitely don't think definitely recruit to prospect is not as big as a gap as people are saying. Like it's kind of a little ridiculous in my opinion, but to each their own, I guess. They can have their egos, whatever. Even though prospect was literally the lowest tier, I don't know, 2 seasons ago, but let's not talk about it. But whatever.
Clancy, you didn't answer the 2 franchise questions.
Oh, shit, my bad. Like the 2 franchises I would add. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. A great question because I don't know many franchises outside of Recruit. I'm gonna be honest.
So the 6 that currently
I mean that kind of makes sense.
If you say Big Slime, then you're correct.
Yeah,
I
Big
was
Slime,
gonna say Big Slime
because we love our boy
You are
Konatoki
correct.
over here. We love Konatoki here at the Weekly Recruit.
Yeah, they just need what is it? They need 2 GM or AGMs for that, right? To get all 6 the Infinity Stones,
No,
No?
I don't think so.
Is that I didn't know that.
I thought that was a rule. I thought that was a.
I just thought having 2 was like an option.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I
okay.
think you need to.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I was about to say
Which I mean, to be fair, it wouldn't be hard for them to get a second AGM.
No, there's probably a bunch of people that want to be AGMs.
Probably them and maybe academics. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, academics has been talked about a lot as they're probably next.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Once again, I'd just love for Kono to have a recruit team because Kono has said so much nice shit about this show.
Yeah, I mean, and also, I mean, like he's realizing like recruit is like not what people thought it was. Like he's
Guys, I
understanding
swear
that.
we're not complete dog shit. We're
Like
not
we
really good,
like,
but we're
yeah,
not dog shit.
exactly. Like
We're also totally sucking Konatoki off during this bit.
No,
I
you
mean, our
guys
games are
are.
just as competitive, but
Kono's
yeah.
fucking great. I love Kono.
I
Kono's
don't
the
even know
boy.
the guy. I've never talked to him, but I see him in CSC a lot, and I mean, he doesn't seem horrible. Seems like a pretty cool dude. So yeah.
Well, was there
I
anything
just
else that
love
you
the
guys
name
wanted to
Big
talk
Slime.
about?
No, I guess the last thing is we have our own server with the Weekly Recruit to film and also to host 10-mans in. So if you're a recruit player and are looking for a lot of 10-mans based just with recruits, you're not facing premiers or prospects or tendies or challies or elites, hit me, Noah, Clancy, or Kev, Prodigy Toast, or Milky up. Hit really any of us up that have been here a little bit. We usually have the invite code. We can invite you in.
I can create one as well. So
Yeah. I'm pretty sure everyone can. So
Yeah, I gave
actually, I
the
think we
ability
should
to invite
probably-
everybody.
yeah.
We should probably remove that permission from everyone though, because
We're
some
getting
people sneak
invaded.
in here.
Yeah.
Scotland.
We're not really
Scott.
ones that
Scott
want
was
to ban
allowed.
people. Scott's
AP
allowed.
spies.
Scott's an honorary Trost member.
Well, here's
so
the
he's
thing.
allowed.
AGMs and GMs, I guess, are fine. I guess.
Yeah,
Yes.
AGMs
Like,
and GMs are always welcome.
Fine. We'll let the
Yeah.
AGMs come in. It's fine. It's fine.
That's why Camp's
But,
in
like,
here. That's
we
why
don't want no
fucking Fleeb is in here.
contenders in here. I mean, obviously Camps is contender, but Camps is also a different breed. Everyone loves Camps. So. But yeah, he
Fleeb
also
is in
was
here.
AGM.
Fleeb's in here, but that was partially because he had to accept the awards. Also, for all new recruits, there's a whole season's worth of content.
Yeah,
and
there's a whole
podcasts.
season of this. So
Whole season's worth of podcasts for you guys to check out. And when you get done with that and you get done with this episode, go check out the State of Recruits off-season videos. They were actually really good.
Yeah, the State of Recruit's pretty nice. I do a lot of work with them as well.
Mhm.
They're definitely two different entities. State of Recruit likes to be a little more professional journalism, while the Weekly Recruit I think embodies Recruit a little more, and like we like to have fun. The Weekly Recruit likes to have
Yep.
fun,
I like that.
We're gonna be
That implies they
and we
don't like
ramble.
fun.
We do like a more podcast version, while the State of Recruit wants to do more of like an
I think,
ESPN type
yeah,
look
the
at
the
it.
way I first described it's probably the best way. This is the Joe Rogan show compared to the State of Recruits ESPN.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So definitely check out both. I
Something
mean,
something DMT. I don't know.
it was actually funny as hell. I fell
Ayahuasca.
asleep. I fell asleep last night watching YouTube, as one does, and then I woke up and we were on like episode 7 of the first Weekly Recruit.
Of the
I
first
was like,
season.
what?
You're just like,
I
Yeah,
honestly,
dude, which one was the one Yin was? Yin was in a couple of them, but yeah, I woke
Yeah.
up to
Yeah.
Yin's yapping ass voice, and I was like, no
God.
fucking shot, dude. It was like
The thing
3. It was like
is-
this is
like
why I
4 in
don't
the
watch
morning.
our videos while I'm going to sleep.
I watched them back like the day after to make sure I didn't say some shit that was completely wrong. Like,
And there's being wrong.
No, what are
It
you
never
talking
happens.
about?
now there are some
Never
things I
happened.
legitimately believe that are wrong, which yeah, I'm not gonna back down from that. But if there's some things I'm look back and I'm like, no, that's yeah, what the fuck was I talking about here? I'm like, I'm gonna have to explain
Our
this.
friendly neighborhood yapper, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, we've just been rambling, so we can probably
Yeah,
Cut
could
it
probably
off.
end it
So from
eventually.
all of us here at the Weekly Recruit, thank you, fuck you, bye.